Hello everyone, and in today's video I'll be going through the upcoming elections for the devolved parliaments of Scotland and Wales. For my American viewers, a devolved parliament is essentially just the British equivalent of a state legislature, but rather for individual countries of the United Kingdom. Starting with Scottish Parliament, the SNP, or Scottish National Party, controls the government. Something interesting to know is that Scotland is very left-wing. The only right-wing parties here are the Conservative and Reform parties. Despite that, the SNP, a left-leaning party, only controls the government with a plurality, due to opposition from other left-wing parties like the Labour and Green parties. The main difference is that the SNP and Greens support Scottish independence, but Labour doesn't. The SNP won control of Parliament in 2007 and has generally made gains since then. 2016 was the most recent election, and their seat tally remained relatively stagnant. Polling for 2021 has been showing that the SNP is favored to maintain their control of Parliament, but not win a majority. This is very important because Scottish First Minister and SNP leader Nicola Sturgeon has promised to hold an advisory referendum on Scottish independence if she wins a majority of seats. This is despite British Parliament not agreeing to this and the Prime Minister arguing that Scotland doesn't have the power to do this. So the Scottish Parliament election could end up being important even if you live outside the UK, because Scottish independence would affect all of Scotland and the UK's allies and trading partners. Wales is also holding an election for their devolved parliament, but it's a bit less interesting because there isn't much at stake, unlike in Scotland. Wales's parliament is called the Senned, and is currently dissolved, so technically there are no seated members. But prior to dissolution, the Labour Party controlled the Senned in a coalition with a Lib Dem and an independent. In the last election in 2016, Labour and Plaid Cymru's seats stayed relatively stagnant, but the Conservative and Liberal Democratic parties lost a lot of seats to UKIP. Now, UKIP only holds one seat because its members broke into the Abolish the Welsh Assembly Party, the Independent Alliance for Reform, and one stayed in the UKIP. Currently, opinion polling suggests that Labour is favored to retain their control, while Plaid Cymru and the Conservatives are polling to both slightly gain seats, but stay roughly equal to each other in seat count. Unlike in Scotland, independence movements in Wales are not as popular. Plaid Cymru and Propel are the only parties with seats that support Welsh independence. It's highly unlikely that Plaid Cymru wins control of the Senned, but if they gain seats, it could be a signal that Welsh independence movements could be picking up some more steam. Thanks for watching this video. I should have 2 more videos on this UK election in the next week or so. Goodbye.